going, everybody? I want to preface this video real quick. This vlog is about, you know, it's right before day 3 of EA Play, when I'm leaving the hotel and I'm checking out. Basically, I'm really checking out of the hotel, and I noticed this guy, his pictures was on the wall, and so he was telling me about his career as an actor. So I started filming. I asked him to introduce himself and how he acted, you know, just to get some showing you guys some footage on my you know, where I stayed in the hotel at EA Play. And then this lady came in. She was working the desk, so she wanted to finish my checkout, but she started telling me more about this hotel, that it ended up being the first Paramount Studios for Hollywood. Hollywood Sports staying in a hotel called Hollywood Dream, and then it turns out that that hotel used to be a Paramount studio where they used to make films at. The very first Paramount studio in Hollywood. So guys, that's what this vlog is all about. When she tells me the history of what's going on, enjoy.
Larry. Larry, how are you doing?
Good.
Nice to have you here at, you know, in Hollywood. And we want you to know that our latest film, The Matadors, it's the most exciting film of the year.
Good.
When you see it in the movie theaters or television, whatever, please watch it and let us know your opinion. God bless you, and so nice to have you here.
All right, great.
Take care, brother.
All right,
Thank
I
you.
just want to get pictures there. This is good stuff. Yeah, I always say you never know who you're gonna meet.
Yeah, you know.
Here's some pictures, guys, of him
Yes, yes.
Oh, Hollywood.
and some of his work.
Some of our movies.
Yeah, some of his movies.
That's right.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And that's two of the stars of the Matadors, Eric Roberts
Okay,
and Van Frankenstein.
good.
Big Hollywood stars.
Yeah,
That's right. That's me with the art director.
that's the
The art director, yes.
oh, okay, the art director. Okay,
Correct.
what is
And
that up
that's,
there?
one of the theaters they named after my name.
That's
the
the
Paramount
legendary.
Theater.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That's where they did the One Flew
Theater is that George, as a celebrity, he was on the television show General Hospital. He was in the highest rating show. He stole Laura from Luke. Now,
That used to be my favorite show.
he was the guy that stole Laura from
What?
Luke. He was a Cassadine. They had babies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from him. At the same point in time, you're looking at the Penn Andreas Theater, which was formerly on Santa Monica. That was established by him, for him, by Jack Lemmon,
Let me get closer.
Richard Dreyfuss, and Ginger Rogers. So you had all of the stars. You had Eartha Kitt, Harry Belafonte, Richard, the other guy. There's too many actors to even mention that have gone there. Tony Curtis, everybody
Wow.
was going to the theater. The new Penn Andreas Theater, there are two. There's one on Santa Monica, and there's another one for light, because original filming needed a lot of light. A lot of people don't see inside of what an actual facade building would have been. This was a facade building that was associated with Paramount Pictures that literally became studio housing for the actors. Now, right here, again, you see all of George's films. This is him with Ginger Rogers. It's just to give people a real quick thing. When they built this building was called Paramount. This was Paramount Studios. Paramount Studios was famous Lasky Players. They kind of changed names. Well, we didn't become famous Lasky Players because the actors really, you know, most of the actors were gone, like Charlie, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford. You had Gloria Swanson. All the people were gone. That was from Marilyn Monroe, but
Wow.
the things are missing there, so we have to put them back up for her. Right here, yeah, people got a little bit too happy. This right here is Rudolph Valentino. One of the unusual things about Rudolph was here during the heyday. So what happened with Rudolph is that he got 80,000 to 100,000 people at his funeral. See, they didn't know what stars and what celebrities were. People were trying to look like him. They were putting on makeup, eyeliner, whatever Rudolph did, they were doing. They finally found out that the word Paramount meant something. Now, most of the people would go down to Hollywood Boulevard and they would drink. They get their bender on, especially Douglas, Rudolph, Charlie, they'd all drink. They drink really good. Okay, so when they would drink, one of the unusual things that they would do is actually go down to Musso and Frank's. And everybody at that time period was either in oil or Nickelodeon's films. So they would talk like average people. Well, what are you here for? Oh, I'm here for this. But remember, most of this street, most of this area was orange groves or trees. It didn't have all that much. This was here as a studio. Now, they have two hidden doors. I can see it where the see right here?
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Okay, they had two doors that went out here. And so this was the lobby over here. The stairs weren't here, they cut the stairs in. So a lot of people pass by, they don't even recognize that. This was built as a stage, a facade, a stage, like a regular movie set. Now when the studio system died down, this wall was put here for when this turned into a hotel apartment. This was the check-in right here where Marilyn is. Check-in, check out. And here is the back to show you the check-in. We haven't done anything, nothing. I think the only thing which happened is that the molding was taken off the bottom, but other than that, that's exactly how we found it. These are the stairs that lead to nowhere. These are the stairs that lead to nowhere because they cut off the doors. They blocked those doors. Oh, okay. So as you can see, you know, it has a different history here. Wow. This would have been the back part. This is the breakfast room. But what's so unusual about this? This room and the third floor are ghost sightings. But here, I'm sorry, I meant to show you this. This is all the stars and celebrities that have come here. Wow. In the last year or so. Now we've also had like visitors like T.I., Pharrell Williams, Pharrell, did I say his name right? Pharrell?
Yeah.
Okay, T.I., Pharrell come here. A lot of people have come here. We've even had, like last week, what's his name of TMZ? Harold Levin. Harold Levin just came here last week of TMZ. One of the reasons Harold Levin came here is because Tom Cruise lived here. This is an adult film star, one of the top adult film stars right there. We had to have his signature too. He's a star. If you're a star, put your name up there. The problem is we have so many stars and celebrities that want to see where the other celebrities started. That's George with Ginger Rogers. This is George from the motion picture Golden Target. Now George became, from working with General Hospital, a cult film star. You know, like Rocky Horror Picture Show. His film Golden Target and Crime Killer became so big with security officers, police officers, military force all over the world. He was the first one to actually put what they felt into words on film. So much so that they would be watching it, that they sometimes watch his films 5 times, 6 times, 10 times. You hear them on the internet. Hold on, and what's so sad about it? They repeat linguistically what he's saying. Oh boss, you hurt my feelings, because a lot of these guys are working. as security and stuff, and they can't say that to their boss, but he says it. And it's kind of like a stereotypical or farce. It's kind of like I'm going to get you sucker without being I'm going to get you sucker. At the same point in time, what's so unusual, the crime killer, for instance, had Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee was in that film before he did The Crow. Ironically, I think it's eerie because they were shooting with squibs all around him. Squibs are the guns, the actual one that killed him, remember? Later.
Okay.
So I would think that he would have been more used to it, but George gave him, you know, the help, as a friend, the encouragement to do The Crow, ironically. But that wasn't the only film star that started from there. There were a lot. Like also from George's films, from The Crime Killer, you got Brandon Lee, you had Philip Ree from The Best of the Best. Now, the Matadors, Elvis Presley did stay here. Okay, but remember, I said that the film stars were bigger than life, that they started. The name of this place was Paramount. Now, before Elvis got here, this place was called the Players Playhouse, the Actors Playhouse. But he stayed here, and he only stayed here like a week or so. You know, he couldn't stay more, but he was across the street from the studios because when everybody found out where they were, you could imagine what happened. We're not dating. One of the funny things is that they expected the stars to live like stars in the heyday. They expected the stars to have the clothing, to look fantastic, to be exactly the way they were, not to stay in studios. But now let's go back to why we were Paramount Studios and they were Famous Lasky Players. What happened was the guys went on a bender, and when they asked them, what studio are you with? They couldn't say Famous Lasky Players because they were drunk. It was a tongue twister. So they said Paramount Studios. All of the, like we have GPS today, everything, the whole studio system is on a grid. This is Green Square, this is this is that, this is stage 29. The reason they had that on there is because so that you could find it. It's so massive. So this was Paramount. The arch is outside, that's why it was Paramount. At the same point in time, when they started nicknaming this place Paramount Studios. It was. And they nicknamed the whole studio Paramount Studios from this place. Paramount meaning that the actors either heads were big or that they were going to get big, but they were right. They didn't know how big. So anyway, Famous Lasky was up there. Mr. Lasky himself was talking, and he was bragging on having Douglas or Valentino in his movie. And they said, oh, you're the owner of Paramount. He wasn't the owner of Paramount. He quickly corrected them and said Famous Lasky Players. This happened more than once. Every time he mentioned Charlie, Douglas Fairbanks, Mary Pickford, Gloria Swanson, and the actors would probably walk away at the time somebody said Paramount, act like they were innocent, but that's what everybody was calling. Paramount sounded better than Famous Lasky Players.
Gotcha, yeah.
He went to New York, saw the Paramount building there. He was being haunted by that name. He went to San Francisco, they have a Paramount there. All of a sudden he figured out he's superstitious, he better name the studios Paramount. But he wouldn't name it Paramount Studios because it would mean that he took it from the actors and the actors were winning. He called it Paramount Pictures. Okay, so that's the history on the place, the name. Now, a lot of people don't understand. You notice that there's curved ceilings going here.
Yeah.
Remember, we had not talkies, but they had to communicate. Curved ceilings, ever since like you go into curved caves, your voice goes down to the end. So if I'm talking here, they could hear me down there. Tray ceilings in Italy and stuff like that, and in Victorian period, they had that for family conversation. So if you're in a tray room, a lot of people don't know acoustically what they're dealing with, but your voice is carried. In Italy, they have the cupolas in the cathedrals. The reason it's like that is for amplification of the voice. So your voice, you're talking like this, but your voice is going like this, so therefore everybody's able to hear. Although they're, you know, the director would be down there. They're not doing talkies.
Yeah.
They're doing Nickelodeons. But when he talks, they have to hear him. Same thing over in the office. These are the only two tray besides the hall. So acoustically, the problem with the Hollywood Dreams is that it's acoustic. It has, you know, very fine, because your voice is meant to roll, because it's meant for direction.
Yes.
It wasn't meant, you know, as to be open for the public. This was meant for filming. We didn't know exactly what was happening with the floor. I thought it was the weirdest thing ever. And somebody at Paramount Studios told me about the old stages and about Charlie Chaplin. John Wayne, a lot of the celebrities that stayed here, family members, different people have come by and said who their family used to be with here. We've had Mickey Rooney's family, a lot of stuff. A lot of people that stayed here after the studio system died down weren't even aware that they were staying in celebrity units. I was aware, George was aware, because when we first came here, hey, there were all fan mail boxes right in the office. Right where that wall is in front of George, where those two chairs, there were little bitty tubes right over there, but nothing but fan mail. So, and Paramount Pictures directly above it, a logo. So, unfortunately, you know, when, you know, you can't have things sticking out, and they didn't really realize the significance. I would have left it, but they didn't. So, this is your tour.
Wow.
Last of it.
That's
Hold
amazing.
on, I'll let you see something, which is very cool. Right over here, you don't have a good view today. Right there is the Paramount logo on that sand.
Yeah! Wow!
Okay, on the sand. Hold on, but think about what I'm about ready to show you.
Okay.
See the mountain and Paramount across with all the stars.
Yeah.
There's more significance to what people would say. An artist, since we have the actors, the set directors, a lot of people that want to have awards turn to the Hollywood side. It looks like the Paramount side. Now that said Hollywood Land, just imagine what it looked like. Hollywood Land. And it used to say Hollywood Land. That's where they get their emphasis from art. You see what I mean?
Yeah. Wow.
And so every day when these actors would go out, that's what they saw. And then you see the replica of the stars.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so there's a lot of hidden secrets to Hollywood.
Wow. I'm all near this, didn't notice nothing.
A lot of people don't. They pass by it every day.
Wow. Guys, this is the hotel I was staying in right here, man. I didn't realize I was staying in a historical building, guys. This was an actor's studio, man. No wonder they call it Hollywood Dream Suites. It's amazing, guys. I was staying in a historic Paramount filming building, guys. See, it says Hollywood Dream Suites. And y'all just heard her give me, y'all just heard the story about the history about this building, guys. I was staying in history and didn't even know it till now. It must have been, it was meant to be, guys. It was meant to be.